It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for being with us on this Thursday morning. As we get our Conservative Energy Network spot going here this morning, always happy to welcome the gentlemen into the studio with us this morning. Jim Gregory and Justin Mason with us this morning. We are anticipating a phone call this morning from Sanjeev Malhotra from Sparks Incorporated. We'll wait for that call to come. When it comes, we'll get him right back up on the line with you here this morning. And if that was him calling, he's calling the wrong number. So
I don't think so. We gave him the right number.
That number won't go out over the phone,
Okay.
so there's nothing I can do with that one.
That's
So
all right.
we'll hope that he gets through to us. Meanwhile, let's, gentlemen, talk a little bit this morning about what is a very serious topic, and that is energy consumption, demand, and our ability to meet that demand, especially with, we think of Pennsylvania being, okay, it's Western Pennsylvania, that's our only energy concern. It's much larger of an area than that. We are really powering Ohio, West Virginia, Northern Virginia, New York State. We're covering an awful lot of territory, and because of that, the demands in those territories, they really put a burden on our ability to produce and give them what they need. Demand is really increasing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of the next 5-10 years?
Yes, actually 80 gigawatt deficit by the time we hit 2027.
Yeah.
80 gigawatt deficit. And the energy legacy that we're used to in Pennsylvania, where we turn on the switch and the lights come on, or in the summer the air conditioner kicks on, or on a cold day that we're just getting out of here in Pennsylvania, that the heat comes on, that will not continue to happen as we become used to and conditioned to. Yeah. And that change is something that we have to be prepared for, and that's why we, as Conservative Energy Network Pennsylvania leaders, really talk a lot about the importance of not just the fossil fuel energies that we produce, but also the renewables, so that those fossils are around for as long as we can keep them around, that the renewable energy sources help maintain and sustain all of those sources that we're used to.
When we think of air conditioning, I always thought that air conditioning season actually is more of a burden on our abilities to power the world, and that is coming into being here very, very soon. The data centers, especially in Northern Virginia, that are being built and are going to really, Justin, demand tons and tons of power that we can't produce right now. That's especially concerning. Which brings up the idea of not only generating electricity, but storing it. Mm-hmm. And Indiana County can play a big role in that, but all of the area power plants here in Western Pennsylvania, they have to be a part of the puzzle there, don't they?
They absolutely do. And storage is agnostic. That's the beautiful part about it. It does not mind where the electron was created. It just matters that the electron finds its way to the storage, so that it can be dispatched at a moment of need instantaneously. That's the best part of storage, is it's instantaneous.
Yeah, and it needs to be in place and now. You really can't wait to produce the energy storage capacity. So how do we do it? What are the ways in which we can picture giant ever-ready batteries, and jumper cables and things of that nature. But how do we physically do it, and how soon can we get it to capacity?
We can do it as soon as we have projects online that are permitted and being introduced into the queue. 5 years out, at least, right? There's a misconception that it takes 10 years. And that's currently it's just not the case, right? The thought is that we have to rely upon foreign sources for these batteries, if you will, the storage solution. Thankfully, we have Sparks, SPARKZ, incorporation set up in Sacramento, California, currently ramping up a gigawatt facility to be able to produce American-made, American-mined lithium iron phosphate batteries, which will then find its way onto our grid and even inside vehicles for OEMs and handheld devices as well.
Yeah. And of course, we're hearing about lithium and Pennsylvania's ability to produce lithium using products that are just laying on top of the ground and just underneath the ground as well. There's a tremendous potential there, Jim.
Yes, wastewater as well from fracking, the opportunity to gain that water, those minerals from that water as well. But I would also just add something to Justin's comment that security for these battery storage facilities is also crucial. Imagine what it was like for people to kind of make the comparison why the Horseshoe Curve was targeted as being on the list by the Russians, Germans to bomb because of the access that it provided for the importance of commerce in our country. A battery storage facility would also be a target for cyber security and cyber attacks because of what it can do to disrupt our power and energy grid in this country. And so there's so much that goes into this whole project, but also just the forwardness of how this is going to impact our energy use, that it's that important that we make sure it's protected as well.
Yeah.
And to briefly dovetail that comment, point of source. Where is the battery produced? And the software for that battery.
Yeah.
If it's American made, then we're starting off on the right foot.
Yeah. The less you have to rely on bringing stuff in from out of the country, and the more you can rely upon materials that are already here, the more jobs you're going to provide, number one. The more safety and security that you're going to feel as a consumer, but really as a state official. And when you are operators of something like PJM, the grid, you know, that has to be right there at the very top of their list of priorities. You know, not only must we have the ability and have the storage capacity, but we have to be able to protect it.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's why the cybersecurity end of things is truly so vastly important, as we are vulnerable.
Yeah. So the governor in the last couple of months has proposed, you know, maybe we don't really need PJM. Maybe we need to find some other way that Pennsylvania can play a role in the energy picture. I don't know where that comes from, but I do know that sounds like a pretty dangerous proposition.
Well, it would be akin to the United States deciding, well, this is what America first. Right? If we decided that we wanted to be Pennsylvania first and that we were going to hog all of our energy resources and just keep it here, wow, that would be amazing. But we share all of the resources that we produce here with all the members of the PJM. We're, you know, the second largest producer. So whether or not we get out of the PJM, I think is an interesting question, and what's the ramifications of that? I think it's a headline grabber for folks that want to put that forth, but I don't know that it's much more than that.
Yeah. So Justin, let's talk a little bit, since we're not able to get Sanjay with us today. Let's talk a little bit more about Sparks and what they are proposing to do and how it plays into all of this.
Sure. So briefly, Sanjeev Malhotra is the founder, CEO, and president of Sparks Incorporation, as I had mentioned previously, housed in Sacramento, California. He is the former director of the Energy Investor Center for the Department of Energy. So we have somebody here that not only knows the finance end of things, has had experience inside of manufacturing, understands the chemistry, and also understands the opportunity for America that lays before us inside of this time where our energy relationship, in not only Pennsylvania with the PJM, but all throughout the nation, is greatly altering. And as that occurs, Sparks will be that solution of dispatchable energy upon our grid and giving us lithium iron phosphate produced here in America. So we're talking a battery that recharges faster, is more affordable, so you're reducing CapEx when you're manufacturing goods with this type of technology. And really, lithium manufacturing, as we know it, was all conceptualized here stateside and then taken overseas to be carried out for the manufacturing as it was more affordable. But thankfully, now we get to see an American-first solution, and we get to see this benefit Americans' jobs.
It was taken to China, and we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
And next stop for Sparks, not only are they ramped up in Sacramento, they have opened a facility in Bridgeport, West Virginia, in Harrison County, in an old glass factory where they will be producing batteries as well and repurposing coal jobs, taking individuals displaced from the coal industry, retraining them, and giving them opportunity there in the West Virginia economy of Harrison County.
The batteries are safer also?
Yes, sir. They are absolutely safer. Thank you for that point, Jim. So nickel, manganese, cobalt, our current chemistry solution that we're relying upon foreign sources for, has a tendency to do thermal runaway, which means that the battery can spark into flames and even off gas and cause an issue, flame-wise. But
Very volatile.
Very
yes,
volatile.
absolutely,
A Tesla
sir.
car, for
Yes,
example.
yes.
When the water hits it.
Yeah.
Lithium iron phosphate is much more stable.
Gentlemen, there's a project in Marchand in northern Indiana County. There's another one in Tunnelton in southern Indiana County, both geared toward reusing materials that have been provided. Giant bony dump of coal,
Yes.
and underground waters as well, and in Marchand as well, the thermal project up there. So we're thinking about those. Are there projects like that happening in other counties across the region? Erie County, Justin, some of the other counties around western Pennsylvania, are those sorts of things happening?
Are you referring to Firepoint Energy with, I
Yes.
believe, gentleman's name is Bill Smith?
Firepoint.
Yes, yes. Awesome guy. Awesome operation that he's undertaking there. He has really taken on the job of cleaning up coal slag piles throughout Pennsylvania to make jet fuel,
Yeah.
which is absolutely astounding and awesome. He's helping the conservation of our wild spaces here in PA, and he's also contributing to industry, which is a great thing to see happen. I believe he's the only one doing that right now that I know of. So he's a frontline leader and truly a pioneer in that space.
Those startups are very exciting, though, aren't they?
They are, and that technology and what he's providing is just absolutely amazing.
So as we stand here, do you recognize the shine in his face because he gets excited about this stuff too? You had to talk. You had to talk about this a lot because you have Senator Pittman here, you have Jim Struzzi here, Representative Struzzi. They are deeply involved in the energy conversations at the state level and federal level, and people as well. So we appreciate your interest in this.
Well, we're certainly, and we're watching the situation at the Homer City generating station. The stacks are coming down, and development.
The implosion this weekend.
The implosion's coming up on Saturday.
Yeah.
And so that project will move forward, and very excited about the energy potential there.
There's talk of data centers coming out to that particular area as well at some point here, not in the too distant future.
Shh, you're not allowed to say that.
And here's the, if I may, here's the importance on storage with data centers is you have natural gas looking to be utilized through the turbines at the site as ancillary power, right?
Yeah.
It takes time to ramp those up. It takes about a half an hour till you even start getting a kilowatt, let alone a few hours till you start getting megawatts.
Yeah.
Batteries are immediate.
Yeah,
They're dispatchable
they're
right
literally
at the moment of
flip the
need for
switch.
usage. Yes. So that's why Sparks is a great solution to that type of project. And everyone should know that if they're talking about data centers, storage needs to be part of the conversation. And Sparks is a great resource to turn to for that. SPARKZ.energy.
Gentlemen, we're way out of time here.
Yeah.
I blame you.
Sorry for breaking any news there for you.
No, we love breaking news. That's good to hear. It's Indiana in the Morning on WCCS. We have to get out of here.
Yep.
Conservative
Thanks.
Energy Network, you're going to come back next month?
See you next
Yes, sir. Thank you, Todd.
It's Indiana in the Morning.